When determining appropriate rates for family and friends, several factors should be considered. These include the type of work involved, the level of skill and experience required, material costs, the time needed to complete the project, and the specific relationship you have with the individual. The type of work, whether electrical, plumbing, or carpentry, directly influences pricing due to the varying levels of expertise, tools, and potential risks involved. Electrical work, for example, typically demands a higher level of skill and adherence to safety regulations, which can justify a higher rate. The skill level and experience are critical determinants. A professional with years of experience and certifications might command a higher rate compared to someone who is less experienced. Consider whether the task requires a professional's expertise or if an amateur could reasonably handle it. Material costs should be factored in, especially if you are providing the materials. It is important to track these costs accurately to ensure that you are adequately compensated. Transparency with family and friends about material expenses is also essential. The time required to complete the project influences whether you charge an hourly rate or a flat fee. Smaller projects might be better suited for an hourly rate, while larger, more complex projects could benefit from a flat fee that covers the entire scope of work. Consider offering a discount, as discussed later, on either the hourly rate or the flat fee. The relationship with the family member or friend significantly affects pricing. The closer you are to them, the more inclined you might be to offer a steeper discount. However, it is important to balance this with the need to cover your costs and time. Some general guidelines can assist in determining fair pricing. Firstly, for an hourly rate, consider charging 50 to 75% of your regular rate. This allows you to provide a discount while still compensating yourself for your time and expertise. Secondly, if you opt for a flat fee, offer a discount of 20 to 30% on the estimated cost of the project. This provides a clear, upfront price that is lower than what you would typically charge other clients. Thirdly, regarding materials, typically charge full price unless you are buying them in bulk. This ensures that you are not losing money on the materials needed for the project. In special circumstances, such as extended projects or assisting elderly or disabled family members, consider offering further discounts. This can be a gesture of goodwill while still maintaining the value of your services. In this situation described, the regular rate is $70 per hour for one person. A reasonable rate for family and friends could be calculated as follows. For the hourly rate, 50 to 75% of $70 per hour translates to $35 to $52.50 per hour. This range provides a substantial discount while still acknowledging the value of your time. For a flat fee discount, consider offering 20 to 30% off the estimated cost. For example, if a project is estimated to cost $300, applying a 20% discount would result in a flat fee of $240. Alternatively, a 30% discount would result in a flat fee of $210. Here are some additional tips to keep in mind. Firstly, be transparent about your rates and discounts. Open communication helps avoid misunderstandings and ensures that everyone is on the same page. Secondly, get everything in writing, even for small jobs. A simple agreement outlining the scope of work, materials, and payment terms can prevent disputes later on. Thirdly, set clear expectations about timelines and payment. Be realistic about how long the project will take and when you expect to be paid. Fourthly, prioritize quality and avoid cutting corners. While offering a discount, it is crucial to maintain the same level of quality that you would provide to any other client. Lastly, be willing to negotiate within reason. There may be situations where you need to adjust your pricing based on the specific circumstances. By following these guidelines and tips, you can establish fair and transparent pricing for family and friends, maintaining both your professional integrity and personal relationships. In electrical projects, ensure all work complies with the National Electrical Code (NEC). For example, conductor ampacity should adhere to NEC Table 310.15b16. Ensure proper grounding and bonding according to NEC Article 250. Overcurrent protection should be selected based on conductor ampacity per NEC section 240.4. When installing receptacles, use the correct type for the application, such as ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI, protection in wet locations as required by NEC section 210.8. For lighting installations, follow NEC article 410 for fixture requirements. Conduct voltage drop calculations to ensure voltage at the farthest outlet meets NEC recommendations, typically less than 3% for branch circuits and 5% overall. When working with wiring, use appropriate wire connectors listed to UL 486 AMINUS 486B and ensure proper torquing per manufacturer instructions. In plumbing projects, adhere to the Uniform Plumbing Code (UC) or the International Plumbing Code (IC), depending on the local jurisdiction. Ensure proper pipe sizing for water supply and drainage systems based on fixture units and demand. Install backflow prevention devices where required to protect the potable water supply. Properly vent drainage systems to prevent trap siphonage and ensure adequate airflow. Use appropriate pipe materials for the application, such as copper, CPVC, or PEX, and follow manufacturer guidelines for installation. When soldering copper pipes, use lead-free solder and proper flux to ensure a strong, leak-free joint. Test plumbing systems for leaks and pressure to verify integrity. In carpentry projects, use appropriate lumber grades and types for the application. Ensure proper framing techniques for walls, floors, and roofs to meet structural requirements. Use appropriate fasteners, such as nails or screws, and follow recommended spacing and penetration depths. When building decks or stairs, adhere to local building codes for railing height, stair rise, and tread depth. Apply weather-resistant finishes to exterior wood to protect against moisture and decay. Use appropriate safety gear, such as safety glasses, gloves, and hearing protection when operating power tools. Always disconnect power before working on electrical systems and test for voltage to ensure circuits are de-energized. Follow lockout-tagout procedures to prevent accidental re-energization of circuits. Use ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI, protected outlets when working with power tools in wet or damp locations. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, such as safety glasses, gloves, and respirators when working with hazardous materials. Ensure adequate ventilation when working with paints, solvents, or adhesives. Keep work areas clean and organized to prevent trips and falls. Use ladders and scaffolding safely and inspect them before each use. Follow manufacturer instructions for operating power tools and equipment. If unsure about any aspect of the work, consult with a qualified professional or inspector. Remember that safety and quality should always be prioritized, even when working for family and friends. In electrical systems, understand the voltage levels commonly encountered. Residential services are typically 120 volts or 240 volts. Commercial services can be 208 volts, 277 volts, or 480 volts. When working with higher voltages, exercise extreme caution and follow all safety procedures. Use a properly rated voltage tester to verify circuits are de-energized before working on them. When sizing conductors, consider the ampacity requirements of the circuit and the ambient temperature. Use correction factors and earthing factors as necessary to ensure conductors are not overloaded. Properly label all circuits and panels to facilitate future maintenance and troubleshooting. When installing electrical equipment, follow manufacturer instructions for mounting, wiring, and grounding. Ensure all electrical connections are tight and secure to prevent overheating and arcing. In plumbing systems, understand the different types of pipes and fittings available. Copper pipes are commonly used for water supply lines due to their durability and corrosion resistance. PVC pipes are often used for drainage systems due to their cost-effectiveness and resistance to chemicals. PX pipes are flexible and easy to install, making them suitable for both water supply and radiant heating systems. Use appropriate fittings for each type of pipe and follow manufacturer guidelines for joining them. Ensure proper support for pipes to prevent sagging and strain on connections. Insulate pipes in unconditioned spaces to prevent freezing and condensation. When working with gas lines, follow all safety regulations and use a qualified professional. Test gas lines for leaks using a soap solution and repair any leaks immediately. In carpentry projects, understand the different types of wood and their properties. Softwoods such as pine and fir are commonly used for framing due to their availability and cost-effectiveness. Hardwoods such as oak and maple are often used for flooring and cabinetry due to their durability and aesthetics. Use appropriate joinery techniques for different types of wood and applications. Ensure proper support for structures to prevent sagging and collapse. Apply weather-resistant finishes to exterior wood to protect against moisture and decay. When working with power tools, understand their limitations and safety features. Use appropriate safety guards and attachments to prevent injuries. Wear safety glasses, hearing protection, and gloves when operating power tools. Keep power tools clean and well maintained to ensure proper operation. Never operate power tools under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Be aware of the potential hazards associated with each type of work and take appropriate precautions. If unsure about any aspect of the work, consult with a qualified professional or inspector. Remember that doing the job right the first time is always more cost-effective than having to redo it later. Taking the time to plan and prepare properly will save time and money in the long run. Building codes and regulations are in place to ensure the safety and quality of construction. Familiarize yourself with the local codes and regulations before starting any project. Obtain necessary permits and inspections to ensure compliance. Working without permits can result in fines and delays. Following these guidelines and tips will help ensure successful and safe projects for family and friends. Understanding these basic principles will enable informed decisions about pricing, scope, and execution.